The thrill of exploration isn't confined to jungles and mountaintops. Within every abandoned factory, every crumbling asylum, lie secrets waiting to be discovered. Driven by the allure of the unknown, urban explorers venture into these forgotten realms. But what they uncover can be profoundly unsettling. Join us as we show you the 20 most disturbing discoveries made by urban explorers. Number 20. The Dollhouse. We can all agree that some dolls possess an inherent creepiness. There's something about their fixed stares, their silent smiles, and their uncanny resemblance to humans that leaves us feeling unsettled. Deep in the woods of Ontario, Canada, a strange and unsettling discovery awaits those who dare to venture off the beaten path, a place where this instinctive unease takes a chilling form. Known as the Dollhouse, this abandoned home has become a source of fascination and morbid curiosity for urban explorers who have braved its decaying interior. From the outside, the dollhouse appears to be a relatively unremarkable structure, a ramshackle cottage set amidst a sea of trees and undergrowth. Inside the house, the scene is even more unsettling. The floors are littered with torn and mangled toys, their once bright colors faded and their forms twisted into grotesque shapes. And everywhere, there are dolls, perched on shelves, hanging from the walls, and staring out from every nook and cranny with their blank, lifeless eyes. It's enough to make anyone wonder if this place might be a magnet for something creepy, something sinister. After all, who hasn't heard of Annabelle? Number 19. Lake Shaunie Amusement Park. The rolling hills of West Virginia hide a forgotten secret: Lake Shaunie Amusement Park. Its rusting rides and crumbling structures, slowly being reclaimed by the forest, hint at a once-beloved destination. But for those who know its dark history, the park is more than just a relic. It's a place haunted by tragedy and steeped in the blood of the innocent. Lake Shaunie's story begins deceptively in the 1920s, with local entrepreneur Conley T. Snido transforming the land into a family-friendly destination. For decades, the park thrived, with its carnival games, swimming pool, and thrilling rides drawing visitors from across the region. Yet beneath the cheerful facade, a darker history lurked. Long before Snido's purchase, the site had witnessed a brutal massacre, a violent clash between settlers and Native Americans over territory. This bloodshed left deep scars on the land, and some whisper that the restless spirits of the dead still haunt the park's grounds. Tragedy struck the park again in the 1950s and 1960s, claiming the lives of 6 visitors. Despite attempts to revive its fortunes, Lake Shaunie Amusement Park ultimately closed its doors for good in the late 1960s. Even in its abandonment, the park could not escape its dark past. In the 1980s, archaeologists unearthed a Native American burial ground on the site, adding yet another layer of unease to the place's already troubled history. Number 18. $1 Million Mansion. Of all the abandoned places, abandoned mansions hold a special allure. Their former grandeur, now clothed in dust and neglect, creates a haunting beauty. A favorite among urban explorers is this $12 million property, seized by the bank after its owner's untimely death. It now lies abandoned and forgotten, a stark contrast to the grand vision that once inspired its creation. The mansion story started with a surgeon who dreamed of building a lavish estate for himself and his family. Sparing no expense, he poured millions of dollars into the project, outfitting the property with the finest materials and the most luxurious amenities. From designer clothing to high-end cars, the mansion was to be a showcase of wealth and status, a place where the surgeon could live out his wildest fantasies. But fate had other plans. The surgeon and his son were killed in a tragic plane crash, leaving the mansion unfinished and the family's finances in disarray. With no way to complete the mansion or pay off the mounting debts, the bank seized the property, and the once ambitious estate fell into a state of neglect and decay. For urban explorers who have managed to access the property, they have discovered designer clothing, luxury cars, and other trappings of wealth, all abandoned and left to rot. Number 17. Abandoned McDonald's. McDonald's is about efficiency and predictability. So imagine the shock of finding one from the 80s. Not demolished, not repurposed, just abandoned. The iconic yellow and red paint still clings to the walls, but time has warped it into something strange and unsettling. The explorer who came across this abandoned building was taken aback. Hard to believe this was once a bustling fast food joint, serving up Big Macs and Happy Meals. The exterior has been weathered by the elements, making it almost unrecognizable as a former McDonald's. Yet, the surprise gives way to wonder as you realize how much of the restaurant had been left untouched, slowly gathering dust over the years. It seems odd that such a prime location would be abandoned, leaving one to wonder about the circumstances that led to its closure. The most surprising thing is they didn't even remove the furniture. Empty tables and chairs stand draped in a veil of dust. Number 16. Shano Oregon. Nestled in the heart of Oregon lies the ghost town of Shano, a once thriving community that has since been lost to the sands of time. Unlike many other abandoned towns, Shano's story doesn't involve the pursuit of gold or silver. Instead, it was the town's proximity to vast wool and wheat fields that put it on the map. Back in the early 1900s, Shano was known as the wool capital of the world, thanks to the abundance of sheep farms in the area. At its peak, Shano was a bustling hub of activity, with a thriving economy and a bright future ahead. However, as the saying goes, all good things must come to an end. In 1911, the Oregon-Washington Railroad and Navigation Company opened a new route that linked Portland to Bend through a river canyon, diverting traffic away from Shano. This sudden shift in transportation dealt a severe blow to the town's economy, and over time, Shano began to fade into obscurity. Despite brief surges in population due to nearby construction projects, Shano's decline continued throughout the 20th century. By the 1960s, the town's once impressive population had dwindled to a mere handful of residents, and Shano had officially become a ghost town. Number 15. Sunken Prison. In August 2005, Hurricane Katrina, one of the most devastating storms in U.S. history, ravaged the Gulf Coast. In the heart of New Orleans, amidst the chaos, the Orleans Parish Prison stood forgotten, its inmates left to fend for themselves. Years later, urban explorer Jay ventured into the abandoned structure, uncovering a chilling scene of neglect and desperation within its walls. According to Jay, 617 inmates were left stranded in the prison, trapped in their cells with no ventilation, food, or water. As Jay explored the now abandoned cell blocks, medical center, and gym, he couldn't help but feel the weight of the tragedy that had occurred there. The remnants of the inmates' struggles were still visible, with the words "help" and "food" etched onto the walls, a chilling reminder of the desperation they must have felt. Number 14. Cave under haunted house. When urban explorer Cappy set out to investigate an abandoned haunted house, he had no idea what lay beneath its foundation. As he made his way through the eerie structure, he stumbled upon a hidden cave system that had been long forgotten. Descending into the darkness, Cappy found himself in a subterranean world filled with moss-covered rocks and a pungent odor that seemed to emanate from the depths of the cave. As he pushed further, he discovered an underground stream that appeared to flow directly beneath the house. While the presence of a cave and stream system might seem unusual, a commenter on Cappy's video provided a plausible explanation. They suggested that building a house over a spring source and running it through the basement was a common practice in the past. This method would create a cold cellar, perfect for preserving goods and protecting the water source at the point of drawing. Number 13. The Fairy Tale Shoe House. You might have heard of the little old woman who lived in a shoe, but have you ever imagined this nursery rhyme brought to life? In a quiet corner of Britain, there stands an enchanting home unlike any other, a real-life house shaped like a giant shoe. This whimsical abode, seemingly inspired by the beloved rhyme, has captured the imagination of urban explorers and fairy tale enthusiasts alike. The origins of this peculiar dwelling remain shrouded in mystery. Some speculate that it may have been part of a children's camp in the 1950s, while others believe it could have been an eccentric resort catering to those with a taste for the unconventional. Despite the lack of concrete information, the shoe house continues to captivate all who lay eyes upon it. One can only imagine the delight of stumbling upon this fantastical residence tucked away in the British countryside. With its doors, windows, and intricate details, the shoe house appears to have sprung straight from the pages of a fairy tale. The abandoned state of the property only adds to its allure, making it a favorite spot for urban explorers seeking a touch of the whimsical. Number 12. Japanese Wild West Village. In the land of the rising sun, where tradition meets technological wonder, a forgotten corner whispers tales of the American Wild West. The Japanese Wild West Village, once a bustling stage for cowboy dreams, now lies in ruins. Saloons, churches, and sheriff's offices, relics of a vanished era, crumble under the weight of time. Opened in the 1970s, the Wild West Village was a place where visitors could immerse themselves in the romanticized world of cowboys and frontier life. However, as the years passed, the novelty of the Wild West began to fade, and the park's popularity waned. By the mid-2000s, it had become clear that the Japanese public had lost interest in playing cowboy, and the once lively park was forced to close its doors. Today, the park stands as an eerie reminder of a bygone era, its derelict structures a haunting backdrop for the occasional urban explorer who dares to venture into its depths. Number 11. Soviet Space Shuttle. In the shadow of the Cold War, the Soviet Union and the United States locked horns in a relentless race for dominance, a race that extended beyond Earth's atmosphere and into the vast expanse of space. Driven by ambition and national pride, the Soviet space program achieved groundbreaking feats, yet one ambitious project never saw the light of day. In the depths of a hangar in Kazakhstan lies a relic of this era, an abandoned Soviet space shuttle. A symbol of the USSR's might and technological prowess, it now wastes away, a forgotten dream of a bygone era. This shuttle was built during the height of the Cold War, a testament to the Soviet Union's determination to outshine the United States in space exploration. However, the collapse of the USSR in 1991 left the shuttle grounded, never to reach the stars it was designed to explore. Urban explorers who have ventured into the hangar describe an eerie scene. A colossal machine, once the pinnacle of human ingenuity, now covered in dust and debris. The silence is deafening, broken only by the echoes of footsteps on the metal walkways. Number 10. Door in the Mountain. In the Swiss Alps, an intriguing cave known as the Door in the Mountain has piqued the interest of hikers and urban explorers. This peculiar cavern holds a fascinating history waiting to be uncovered by those who dare to enter. An explorer from the YouTube channel Red Media ventured into the mountains, following a narrow wooden plank that led to the cave's entrance. Despite the warning signs urging caution, the explorer pressed on, driven by the allure of the unknown that draws many urban explorers to such places. The cave's history dates back to 1822, when General Henry Dufour first explored and documented its existence. Originally known as the Shafak Sheep Hole, the cave once served as a shelter for sheep herders, but the cave's most compelling chapter came during World War II. Today, the Door in the Mountain is open to hikers at their own risk. Number 9. UFO Village. Humankind has long been captivated by the possibility of extraterrestrial life. In the lush forests of Taiwan, this fascination finds a peculiar and decaying expression: the UFO Village. Its abandoned pod-shaped structures, known as Futuro and Venturo houses, once embodied a vision of a space-age future. Now their extraterrestrial charm has faded, replaced by an unsettling aura of decay. The origins of the UFO Village are shrouded in mystery. Some say it was a failed attempt at a utopian community, while others whisper of secret government experiments gone wrong. But one thing is certain: the village has become a magnet for urban explorers and thrill-seekers alike. Number 8. Ocean Falls. Deep in the wilderness of British Columbia, Canada, lies an abandoned city where time seems to stand still. Founded in 1906 around a promising hydropower potential, it quickly transformed into a thriving community entirely dependent on its pulp and paper mill. At its peak, the bustling town was home to thousands. Yet, as the industry declined, so did Ocean Falls, ultimately becoming a haunting echo of its former self. Urban explorer Life of Fluke ventured into the heart of this ghost town, documenting its decay with a keen eye and a sense of wonder. The streets, once bustling with life, are now overgrown with vegetation, and the buildings are slowly being reclaimed by nature. Number 7. Wizard of Oz Park. The silver screen sparkled with magic in 1939 as Dorothy and her ruby slippers danced their way into hearts worldwide. The Wizard of Oz became a timeless classic, its vibrant world inspiring dreams. Yet time can be as relentless as the Wicked Witch of the West. Today, the park stands as a silent ruin. The yellow brick road fades under the relentless mountain sun, and the once gleaming Emerald City gates wear a cloak of rust. But for the urban explorers who have ventured beyond the park's gates outside of these sanctioned events, the Land of Oz reveals a different face. The cheerful facades of the Munchkin houses are now faded and peeling, their windows shattered and their doors hanging off their hinges. The once grand castle of the Emerald City looms like a ghost, its towers crumbling and its halls echoing with the remnants of a time long past. Number 6. The Abandoned Gary. In the city of Gary, Indiana, urban decay has taken a particularly striking form. Once a thriving steel town, Gary now bears the eerie distinction of being home to over 13,000 abandoned buildings, a staggering number that has transformed the city into a veritable ghost town. Despite its dwindling population, Gary still houses a small number of residents who call the city home. These stalwart individuals live amongst the crumbling remnants of a once prosperous past, their daily lives playing out against a backdrop of boarded-up windows, overgrown lots, and collapsing structures. For urban explorers, Gary represents a unique and compelling destination. The sheer scale of the city's abandonment is breathtaking, with entire city blocks given over to the ravages of time and neglect. Explorers who venture into these forgotten spaces are confronted with a haunting landscape of decay and desolation, a testament to the fragility of human endeavor in the face of larger economic and social forces. Now it's time for today's subscriber pick. Abandoned towns in China aren't exactly rare, but urban explorers claim to have found a ghost city in western Gansu province that's just weird. This ghost city is littered with abandoned cars, a strange detail as those fleeing a location typically take their valuables, creating a scene eerily reminiscent of a post-apocalyptic movie. What do you think happened here? Share your theories in the comments. Number 5. Discovery Island. Within the realm of Walt Disney World, a place known for its meticulous upkeep and constant innovation, lies a forgotten corner. Discovery Island. This once vibrant wildlife park, a relic of a bygone era of themed entertainment, now stands abandoned. Its once manicured grounds are now overgrown with dense vegetation, and its buildings and enclosures have fallen into a state of disrepair. For urban explorers who have managed to access the island, the experience is one of eerie desolation and unsettling beauty. As they pick their way through the rusting remnants of animal cages and crumbling structures, explorers are confronted with a landscape that seems to have been frozen in time. Faded photographs of former employees still adorn the walls of abandoned offices, and jars containing preserved snakes and other specimens sit untouched on dusty shelves. But amidst the decay and neglect, there are also signs of the island's former grandeur. The lush foliage that covers much of the island is home to a diverse array of bird species, and the presence of vultures perched atop the rusting remains of the park's structures adds a touch of the macabre to the scene. Number 4. Pickled Shark. In the small town of Bass, Victoria, Australia, a once thriving wildlife park lies abandoned and forgotten, its attractions left to decay in the harsh Australian sun. But amidst the crumbling enclosures and overgrown paths, one exhibit stands out as particularly macabre: a 13-foot-long great white shark, suspended in a tank of formaldehyde like a grotesque specimen in a mad scientist's laboratory. The shark, known as Rosie, was once the centerpiece of the Wildlife Wonderland Park, a popular attraction that drew visitors from around the region. But when the park closed its doors in 2012, Rosie was left behind, abandoned by her caretakers, and forgotten by the world. Number 3. Grandma's Farmhouse. In the rolling hills of Wales, an abandoned farmhouse known simply as Grandma's has long been a source of fascination for urban explorers. Inside the house is filled with the trappings of a once prosperous life. Photographs of well-dressed tenants adorn the walls, hinting at a time when the farm was a hub of activity. Modern amenities, such as a sleek kitchen and television, sit alongside antique furniture, creating a bizarre juxtaposition of old and new. But amidst all the clues to the farmhouse's past, one glaring omission stands out: the lack of a toilet. This peculiar absence has fueled countless theories among those who have explored the property. Number 2. Abandoned Aquarium. In the heart of Spain, a French urban explorer stumbled upon a scene of haunting beauty and chilling neglect. An abandoned aquarium, its once gleaming tanks now filled with the floating remains of vibrant sea life. As the explorer ventured deeper into the cavernous building, the scale of the decay became overwhelming. Massive tanks, some stretching up to the ceiling, loomed out of the darkness, their glass cracked and cloudy. Inside, the lifeless bodies of countless fish and other aquatic creatures drifted listlessly, their colors muted by the murky water. What could have led to such a shocking abandonment scene? Number 1. The Waldeck Mine. Deep in the heart of Australia lies the Waldeck Mine, a 150-year-old abandoned gold mine that has captured the attention of urban explorers worldwide. One such explorer, who runs a YouTube channel dedicated to investigating abandoned mines, decided to venture into the depths of this historic site. At first, everything seemed routine as the explorer navigated through the mine's winding passages. However, as he delved deeper, strange sounds began to echo through the tunnels. Initially dismissing them as the wind, the explorer soon realized that the noises were growing louder and more unsettling with each passing moment. As the eerie sounds intensified, the explorer's instincts kicked in, urging him to make a hasty retreat. Without hesitation, he quickly made his way back to the portal, his heart pounding in his chest as he put distance between himself and the mysterious source of the disturbance. Some viewers speculated that the entire experience might have been a well-orchestrated stunt. However, others believed that the explorer had genuinely encountered something unexplainable in the depths of the Waldeck Mine. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.